Time is the most precious currency of the modern world. Technology has not saved us time. In fact, it has made us all feel more time poor. We are locked up in meetings, later scurrying around trying to deal with the full moon king tide surges of email inbox inundation. It is definitely getting crazier. We need some strategies to deal with this rising insanity. Welcome back to this weekly edition every Monday of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy, president of Derail, Carnegie Training Japan, and best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery and Japan Business Mastery. We are bringing the show to you from our High Performance Center in Akasaka in Minato-ku, the business center of Tokyo. Why the cutting edge? In this show, we are looking at the critical areas for success in business in Japan. We want to help advance everyone's thinking so that we can all be at the forefront, at the cutting edge of how to flourish here in this market. Before we get into this week's show, here is what caught my attention lately. Japan is depopulating, especially in the country areas outside the major cities. It is expected that Tokyo will suffer a catastrophic earthquake, which will decimate the city, or a Mount Fuji volcanic eruption, which will cover Tokyo in ash and immobilize all the transportation infrastructure in the city. Despite this, people are still very keen to move to Tokyo. The net inflow of residents was up again last year for 6th straight year in a row, adding nearly 150,000 more people to the city. Young people made up the bulk of the inflow as they moved to Tokyo seeking work. Only 8 of Japan's 47 prefectures saw population increases. This trend drives down real estate values outside the major cities as the demographic trend reduces demand for housing and commercial spaces. Buying a country villa will get easier, but squeezing into a subway car in the morning in Tokyo is going to get a lot harder. This is episode number 123, and we are talking about the details can derail you. Soredewa ikimashou, so let's get going. The devil is in the detail. This saying reflects ancient wisdom about taking careful notice of small things. The semi-amusing reflection on this saying is that it was created centuries ago, when we can imagine life was substantially less complex than it is today. Email surges, flat surfers groaning under the weight of paper, meetings back-to-back from dawn to dusk, ringtones, beeps, assorted intrusions from digital devices we actually carry on our person 24 hours a day. This is the modern life. How easy it is for us to become overwhelmed by all the detail and in the process unknowingly unleash a number of devils. The best answers to these types of dilemmas is to work on our time management, especially prioritisation, and that other partner in crime, delegation. Surprisingly, many of the executives I train or coach do not sufficiently plan their days. They do not have written down lists of what should occupy their valuable time in order of priority and executed starting with the task of highest importance and working their way down. They are commencing their days, hammering away on whatever random emails landed into their inbox overnight. They troop off to a barrage of meetings and then race back to attack the newer emails which slipped in through their absence or which they couldn't knock over earlier. Surreptitiously on their device, they are checking during meetings, trying to do email. Stop kidding yourself. Your time is all you have, and time is life. Pause for a moment and let that one sink in slowly. Set goals. Have a direction. Set a vision so that you have a philosophy about why you are doing it all. Boil both down to tasks to be completed on a daily basis, arranged in a pecking order from most important to least important, and only start with the number one priority. We can't do everything each day, but we can do the most important thing. Be adaptable to change to the order as the day unfolds, but stick with the self-designated tasks. Move unfinished tasks to the next day's list and start again with the application of priorities. They will vary from day to day. Do this every day and life becomes a lot more productive, and the feeling of being in control starts to enter your soul. Find out more when we come back from the break. If you want to be successful as a leader, do the Leadership Training for Managers course. All companies need people who can both manage and lead. Leading people screams out for real skills in communication, dealing with all different types of people, being excellent at innovation, planning, delegation, handling mistakes, doing performance reviews really well, and inspiring and motivating the team. Do the Leadership Training for Managers course now in either Japanese or English. Are you doing business with Japan? Do you really know how things work? Japan Business Mastery provides the answers. Do you have the right networks and know how to create them? Do you know how to get on the same wavelength with Japanese buyers? Do you know what being trustworthy looks like from the Japanese perspective? Japan Business Mastery is based on more than 30 years' experience in Japan and will become your go-to guide. Want to succeed in Japan? Buy Japan Business Mastery now. Welcome back. The other bear trap for executives is delegation. Usually poorly understood and even more poorly executed. Delegation is a misnomer for many executives because the correct word is dumping, not delegation. This means shoveling the whatever off your desk onto some poor, unsuspecting soul's work pile. It means no supervision until the date of completion, and then the teeth gnashing, hand wringing, and air steam coming into evidence as you discover it is not ready, or even worse, ready but the wrong thing. Delegation needs two key steps to be actually worthy of being referred to as delegation. It needs a communication piece with the delegatee where the purpose of the delegation is explained as being there to help that person's career by exposing them to the type of tasks they will need to do to rise through the ranks. The other discipline is checking on progress. There's a delicate balance to ensure checking doesn't slip into micromanaging, but nevertheless, there must be checking. The obvious A to B route for any project sometimes takes a detour in the hands of our subordinates who decide that A to Q makes more sense to them. We need to pick up early so we don't see the tasks sort of wandering off piste. This is all good in theory. Accordingly, our busy life interferes with the checking component and we can easily stray into dumping territory. Often we later find projects or tasks have gone awry and serious amounts of effort are now needed to be devoted to their recovery. Creating templates for follow-up can help. Rather than relying on memory, an increasingly unreliable ally, as we get busier, we have to have a series of templates for meetings. The template nominates what needs to be addressed in the conversation so that nothing gets missed. Subordinates get consistency of management and realize the boss is not dropping the ball, so no shortcuts or deviations will be slipping through unnoticed. We usually only need to make the templates once, keep them handy, and it gets better, things will get better very, very quickly as a result. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Shows help you succeed in Japan. Subscribe on YouTube, share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Become a regular. Thank you for watching this episode, and remember, hit the subscribe button. Our website details are on screen now. enjapan.dale, Carnegie.com. It's awesome value, so check it out. Please leave me some feedback on YouTube. I would love to know how this show has helped and what other topics you are interested in for me to cover. Remember, I'm here as a free resource to help you, so just tell me how I can help you best. You might also enjoy my other weekly shows for podcasts, Mondays for the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, Tuesdays for the Presentations Japan series, Wednesdays for the Sales Japan series, Thursdays for the Leadership Japan series, and Fridays for the Japan Business Mastery Show, wherever you get your podcasts. Also on Fridays, I release my other TV show, the Japan Business Mastery Show, on YouTube. In episode number 124, we are talking about the professional's guide to presentation rehearsal, and we are talking about how to do that correctly. Find out more about that next week. So, yoroshiku onegai itashimasu. Please join me for the next episode of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. We are here to help you. We've only got one direction in mind for you and your business. That is up.